this lesson, we're going to talk about what we can do with the digital papers within PowerPoint to create some unique artifacts. You first need to find some digital paper. There's a few ways to do this. You can search for digital paper. Of course, you can pay for them, but I prefer to use the ones for free that I'm going to just design for personal use. Again, if you're going to try to sell something, you're going to have to make sure that you can use it for commercial use as well. So pay attention to what you're downloading. I searched in Pinterest for digital paper, specifically for free download, since I'm only going to use it for personal reasons. I also like to search for digital paper on Teacher Pay Teachers, and then of course switching to the free option. Of course you could pay for digital papers if you like. However, there's so many for free that we can choose from just so that we can play around to see what we can do. I also like the coffee shop blog. When you click on freebies, you can click on digital paper, and there's what seems like hundreds of paper choices that are listed here in a lot of different seasons. Mostly it seems like there are some are patterned, some are a solidish type color. So depending upon what you're looking, I really liked this one. I also liked Chantalia Design. They have plenty of alphas that you could download. They have lots of clip art, and then they have lots of digital papers, 130 plus pages, but you can search via a color or a specific piece that you're looking for. So take a moment to download some, and then we'll come back together and I'll show you what you need to do within PowerPoint to do some fun things. Now that we've found some digital paper, I'm going to show you a few of the items that you can do to be creative with that digital paper within PowerPoint. The first thing I'm going to do is show you how that we can fill in a word with that digital paper. The first thing I'm going to do is just start off by writing a word, and it gives us our traditional setting. However, I'm going to go ahead and click Shape Format, and I'm going to fill in my word with a picture. This is where I will choose an item from one of my downloaded digital papers. This one looks fun. And then I'm going to make it slightly bigger so I can see. That looks pretty cool. At the same time, I note that it's kind of hard to see with this white background. So under Shape Format, perhaps I might want to outline it in a pretty pink or a pretty color to highlight some of the things. I might want to look at making the outline thicker. So play around with color backgrounds or color outlines. See how they might affect, maybe if I did a darker color, how it might affect things. Also play around with shadows. Even just putting a slight shadow on it makes things stand out a little bit more. Even change around your fonts. That's the standard Calibri font, but what if I change it to something that I had downloaded? How will that look? Okay. Or if I changed it to another one that I had downloaded. So not only using the fonts that we have, but also in addition you can utilize the fonts in which that you have downloaded to create some fun interactive pieces. What we also can do is crop images from digital paper, or we can fill in shapes using our digital paper. I'm going to just start a new slide here, and I'm going to just plain insert a picture from my file, and I'm going to choose one of my my digital photos or digital papers. Let's choose this one. You can choose to have it take up the whole paper or just a portion. Notice it's highlighted, so under our picture format, I'm going to hit crop, and I'm going to crop this to a specific shape. So the first one I did was the sun. Notice it's kind of light, but at the same time I can alter the size of it, and I can alter how I want my sun to look. Also, it might enhance our picture if we decide to outline our picture in a color to really enhance those colors and definitions of space. So I'm going to set this over here and play around with how fun it can be to make the different shapes from these backgrounds. So if I insert another and it's already highlighted and crop it down to, let's say, our cloud, and then again changing the format of our picture by doing a weighted outline. Perhaps you might want to do shadow effects to really enhance and bring out pieces. Maybe you want your piece to glow a certain color to bring out those enhancements. Play around with all the fun things you can do. We can also fill in. So I'm also going to bring in a shape because I really like these brackets. I'm going to start with this bracket here and kind of make, I'm going to zoom in a little. Okay. And notice I'm going to also at the same time turn it to black and then probably change the weight a little bit. I can I can fill in, I can fill in the shape with a picture as well. So let's say I wanted it to be this starburst, if you will. I could then copy and rotate and then try to mimic and put them on top of each other a little bit so that it kind of completes the shape of them together. Kind of looks okay, if you will. I just say play around, see what you can do with things, see how you can manipulate them to get the look that you're kind of looking for. Doesn't hurt. The last part I wanted to do was show you how you could make a pennant. These seem to be pretty popular. This is just a little one that I could certainly make and use as a highlight. Maybe I could use this as part of my insert on a worksheet. I could use this as a border or something. You could also use these if you wanted to create large pennants that you wanted to print out for your own classroom. You would just use a large shape. But how I created this and using the paper fill portion is I started with a shape. I started with this U shape, and then I made it pretty skinny and was kind of careful how I created the line with it. I turned it upside down and it kind of extended it in a little bit, if you will. Okay. I also used a black line. I inserted a triangle, and of course would rotate it, turn it around somehow so that it kind of fit nicely in my little string, if you will. Okay. Instead of leaving it blue, I filled in my shape with a picture. Nah. Let's do these. Okay. And maybe I want to have the outline of all of them be black. But then notice that I have the same size triangle. I copied and pasted the triangle and moved it to where I wanted it. Of course, we have to rotate where we need them to be. And then I just went and refilled it with a different picture. So let's just do green. I copied and brought it down. Rotate just a little bit. This time, let's fill it in a different color. Of course, you could have all the same if you so choose. And then rotate. Change the fill to a picture. I think we can fit one more on here. And rotate. And fill. There. At the same time, you could also put letters or words in here if they're bigger. And then I just took some clip art as my end of the string knots, if you will. Let's do, there's the fish. Let's do flowers. Shrink it down a little more, the size appropriate. All right, now let's say I want this exact same flower. I'm going to copy and paste it. When I bring it over here, I can use my flipping. So I'm going to flip horizontally so it just faces the opposite direction. But then I have the exact same size flower on each side. Remember, then you're also going to want to highlight everything. And then if I wanted to group them so that this whole unit, the whole unit stays with itself. Apparently I also didn't get the line in there. Yeah, so I'm going to just regroup everything, and now they're all connected together. So a fun way. Another way, if you're looking at wanting to create a pennant, a large pennant for your classroom, if I started on a new slide and we saw the whole page as a slide, and we were to insert one of our digital papers, there we go. I would want to make, depending upon how big your digital paper is, that's how it'll crop it to be within that size. So if I wanted to have this whole item be a pennant, I could also turn this around and then fill it in how I'd want it. Similarly, and then it would be large enough. I mean, that's the size of a piece of paper, so then it would be large enough for a classroom. I could also crop this. Another awesome pennant shape to use would be this one here, as another pennant shape to use within your classroom, where you'd have all this space to write in or make it large enough for your classroom. So I hope you enjoyed looking at how you can use digital paper to enhance what you're already doing and creating to help make things that much more fun and all the more possibilities for you. Keep on creating, and until next time.